let's make chicken gnocchi soup. Add some olive oil. Trader Joe's, carrots and onions. And I'm only going to use about half of this because that's way too much for the soup. And I'll save the rest for another one. Whatever I have on hand. Some Italian seasoning. And some country. Onion powder. And garlic. I like to add half a stick of butter. I'm making this for Emma because she's not feeling well. Some Himalayan salt. My onion and garlic powder. Oh, it's way too much. Not that much. Italian. Parsley. Okay, this is what it looks like now. Once the onions are like translucent, which means they don't look white any longer, they're just more clear, I'm going to make my chicken broth. So I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I heated up some water in the microwave and I'm going to add the Better Than bouillon to it. I always kind of go by the color of it. I never measure. And while that heats up, I'm going to take my rotisserie chicken out of the Instant Pot and get the meat off the bone so I can add it to my soup. And then I'm going to take that liquid and pour it into my soup. Okay, let's take a look. It's boiling. The chicken is somewhat cut up in there and I'll shred it more with forks once it gets cooking more. And I have some more chicken broth made. I'm going to add in as we need it. And we'll be ready to add the gnocchi in a minute. Usually, since I already cut the chicken, I can just kind of move it around with a wooden spoon and it comes apart. You can see there's just still some big chunks, but I'll just break those up as we go. Usually I take the time to cut it more before I throw it in there, but I think this will work. It already smells really good. Okay, I add about 2 more cups of broth because I'm going to add the gnocchi. That only takes a few minutes to cook the gnocchi. While that happens, I have some spinach I'm going to chop up. And that goes in at the last. It just needs to cook for a couple minutes in the soup. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to come back to a boil. While I do that, I'm just going to break up the chicken like this. It's probably the most haphazardly I've ever done it. And once the gnocchi starts to float, you know it's almost done. So I'm just going to chop up some spinach real quick. And by the way, this is my favorite knife. I'm not sure if you can see, it's a Cutco knife. I can't remember how long I've had it. It's my favorite. It looks like a lot, but it cooks down. Stir it around. See how they're floating and puffed up? That means they're ready. I'm going to do a little taste test and see if we need more salt or any other seasonings. Ooh. Tastes really good. Okay, last touch is some milk or cream. Okay, the final thing, I'm going to turn down the heat since I'm adding in, I'm going to add some heavy cream. I use half and half milk, whatever I have. I'm going to add a little bit of this and then just regular milk. I'll let that cool down a little bit. I have a little Parmesan rind I'm going to add to it. I have to leave a little bit for coffee tomorrow. Then I'll just add some 2% milk until it looks the right color. I'll show you what that looks like. Ooh, I don't need very much. Come over here. Okay. That's what it looks like right now. So, thinking probably another half a cup. That's about the color that we want. That looks almost perfect. I think I'm gonna a little bit splash more. And then we're gonna add a little bit of sour cream. A couple dollops. You have it just way down on simmer, just while I add the cream and the sour cream. Just like that, we have chicken gnocchi soup. And I'm just going to taste it one more time. I think it tastes just right. And we'll serve it with some Parmesan cheese on top and some French bread.